You ever do something so dumb that you have to tell other people about it in hopes that they don't have the same issue? Well, this involves my Aventure 1 e-bike, so let's get into it. When I was doing the comparison video between the Aventure and the Aventure 2, halfway through the video, I had an issue where my Aventure 1 had no power. I called it dead stick. Nothing I could do would make it work. I was doing the video and I was getting ready to show the difference on the displays between the Aventure and the Aventure 2 when mine wouldn't start up. It was dead in the water. The battery would come on, but every time I hit the button to power it up, I'd get nothing. And because of that, I went ahead and I contacted Aventon support. Now please note that yeah, I do reviews on these bikes, but I paid for this bike, so I'm just like a normal customer, just like you. Well, I reached out to customer support. I reached through them through their chat, and they sent me to support, which in turn I filled out a form telling them what my issue was. During the process of going back and forth with Aventon, we decided that we were going to change out my controller system to see if that would help. They also asked me if I wanted to switch out the display because we weren't really sure if that was going to be part of the problem as well. I told them, send me both. I paid for both of them, and within 2 days, they were on their way being shipped to my location. I get the controller in. I go ahead and I, tear everything out, switch out the controller system, put in the battery. Nothing happened. It was still a dead stick. I switched out the battery to another one that I had, tried it again, also did not work. Aww. At this point, I contact customer support again and said, look, I've replaced the controller. I've even plugged in the new display to the bike, and that didn't work either. So I ended up not putting the display on. But Aventon then directed me to an Aventon authorized repair facility, which happened to be just like 1 mile away from where I live. And as you know, if you've seen any of my videos, I like to take my bike to the bike lane. But when I had an issue such as this, I figured the best place to send it would be to an authorized Aventon repair facility to get it fixed. So I dropped it off right before they closed. I told them what the issue was, and then I went home for the day. The very next day, I get a call back from that repair facility saying, hey, we've got it fired up. We're good to go. You can come pick it up at any time you want. And I was stumped. I'm like, oh my God, what did you guys do to do it? He goes, we just took the battery out, we put it back in, and we fired it up. And I'm like, you guys are going to have to show me how you did that because everything I tried didn't work. And I would see them the following day to pick the bike up. To ensure that everything was going to work, I brought this separate battery that I had with me because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just one battery. If it worked for one, it would work for the other. So I bring the other battery in there. I go, what did you do? He goes, look, I just took out the battery, I put it in, and I hit the power button, and it fired right up. And lo and behold, it did. It totally fired back up. I was stumped. I said, okay, let's change out the battery. I changed it out with the other battery. He hits the button again. It fired right up. And I go, show me how you did what you just did. On the Aventure 2, the power button is the I button in the middle. You hold down the I button to get it to start up. But on the Aventure 1, it's the button on the left. So when I did that review and I thought my bike was not working, that was because I was holding down the I button in the middle on my original Aventure, which is not the power up button. It is for the Aventure 2, but not for the Aventure 1. So this entire time, I'm hitting the wrong button on my Aventure and it's not firing up. Well, of course it's not. It's not even the power button. I'm getting stumped. So I went ahead and I replaced the controller. I bought a display for a bike that didn't need any of that to fix it. There was nothing wrong with it. It was totally fine the entire time. I'm so embarrassed. And I know that some people, I'm like, oh my God. I feel like I'm so dumb. And I ask, I tell some of my friends and they were like, bruh. But, the two bikes are they're such the same. So if you have like both, just remember the power button on the Aventure is on the left where your left turn signal would be on the Aventure 2. Do not make the same mistake I made. Now, if you've been following my reviews that I've done on the Aventure 2, you will know that when I did the mountain bike trail test, I didn't like the way the brakes were sounding. Ooh, hear those brakes? Something's not right. I took that video and I sent it to Aventon's customer support team. Immediately, they replied back to me. They wanted to know the serial number of the bike to show that it was still under warranty. Of course it was. It's an Aventure 2. And from there, They said, you know what, after listening to the video, we appreciate it. We're going to send you out a set of new brake pads and new rotors. And I told them, I'm like, I'm not really sure that's going to be the issue with it. And they said, well, we're not sure either, but we're going to send you these two things because they'd be the simplest things to figure out to see if that'll fix the problem. Well, it's within 3 days after having that conversation, the parts have actually shipped and they're on their way here. I will keep you up to date on how that goes when it comes to this braking system. I stay pretty active in the Facebook support groups. And if you've ever been in any of these groups or any social media anywhere ever at all, people like to complain. And so you see complaints about customer support. But I have to tell you, my 2 experiences that I've had with customer support so far have been excellent. I have nothing to complain about. And because of that, well, I want to know if you've had a great experience with the Aventon customer support as well. So if you could, go ahead, leave a comment down below, I guess good or bad, because they follow my videos, and we can find out, and maybe they'll see something that they can do to improve, but maybe we can show them a little love for what they've been doing right. I thank you for watching. I got more reviews coming up. I got a lot of stuff coming up. So I appreciate you watching this. I'll catch you on the next one, and enjoy the ride.